Hello everyone, and welcome to the STC Ultimate Ascension 2026 Reborn Tournament. I'm here commentating a losers round 3 match, Shane versus Arcie, two of some of the best players in the world, 5 seed versus 6 seed, elimination on the line. We have a very even match today. I mean, I think everyone who has, thought about this match has kind of came out of their brainstorming with the conclusion that this match will be like a 3-2, maybe even overtime match. So this will be one of the closest matches that we'll see in the tournament. Our other losers round 3 match, Noel Tenzi versus Gavin, was extremely close. So I just think this set of maps is pretty balanced for all skill sets. Practice 1 here already. Both of them seem to be starting with this M9 route. Not the same strategy that we saw in the other losers round 3 match, but they will be going all skip, all 5-for-5 skip. I do believe, unless something goes horrifically wrong, which, the ease of some of these skips, I really don't see that happening. And just to clarify, 5-for-5 skip just means on autumn woodlands. I don't think they're going to be going for Western Bluff skip. I mean, maybe. I'm not quite sure. We are playing in Arcie's home server, so he'll be on a pretty big ping advantage here. Probably like 0.2 ahead of Shane, so that's something we're going to have to factor in on commentary, but of course we will retime everything after the match. We do have a lot of movement and close maps today, so that definitely will be a factor. Ooh, Arcie's practicing the faster skip. Might be something he wants to utilize, especially if he, loses a couple tenths. A couple tenths to Shane. There's different ways to approach that, so. I just think Autumn Woodlands is a really interesting map because there's so many different paths you can take. And it's really just a test to see, how far can you push your paths? How risky can you take it? So I mean, even, the risky skip that we saw Noah and Gavin take isn't even the fastest route. I mean, I believe there's 2 or 3 different ways to beat the map faster, so. Practice 2 here. Saw quite a bit of consistency when it came to the M9, or the Rock M9, but not as much to for the tree. The tree M9 was something that Noah and Gavin were struggling with pretty heavily in practice, but they did manage to finish their first 3 runs, both of them, cleanly. Practice 2. If I were both of them, I would just start with this M9, the Rock M9. I wouldn't even bother with Shane's M9 until you at least get a run or 2 in. Because this Rock M9 is designed to be like literally 1 out of 1. When this tree M9, I mean, there's no visual indicator really. You're kind of just going in blind, relying on muscle instincts. Which are the first thing to fall apart in a tournament match. I mean, you can see even in practice, they're just super inconsistent at it. And I think, Noah and Gavin increasing their consistency in rounds was kind of a fluke. I don't expect to see that in this match. Obviously, that would be interesting to see, and not something that's impossible, but I just kind of doubt it. Neither of them practicing skipless, which makes sense. But, I mean, you never know. Just freak accidents can happen, and you might need to rely on skipless. I wouldn't practice it, though, especially, I mean, Shane, 24-8 holder. He is increasing his consistency here, so that's something that he wants to see. I have quite a bit of audience in this private server. Alright. We'll now be heading on to round 1. I feel like neither of these guys' situations are ideal. I think they should just go for the Rock M9 to start. Good luck to both. Elimination on the line at the end of this match, so every point is crucial. Ooh. Shane misses the safety. Arcie gets the risky on the second try, which might still end up being faster than the safety. It's about the exact same speed as what we should be expecting from a first try safety, 13.6. Shane 19.7 just gets a sub skipless. Round 2. Oh, Arcie misses. Ooh, Shane makes a safety, I believe. Arcie's not too far behind. Oh, wait. No, I don't think Shane was safety. He was actually going for his version of the risky for a 12-2. 15-8 for Arcie. Donka rocking the STC jersey. Round 3. Ooh, Shane is looking really consistent at his version. A little bit of a bonk there, but it won't matter too much. And there is an anonymous bettor who did place 1,000 tokens on Arcie winning Autumn Woodlands. I wonder how he's feeling right now. Arcie's just barely in the... Arcie's just barely in the lead here. Round 4. Arcie needs to hit a clean run. Oh, and he does it! Shane makes it again! Shane is going to lock in an early 12-second average. 12-1, Arcie, another 13-7. And that might be Autumn Woodlands under wraps. I mean, maybe if Arcie just goes for like an edge it. I don't know. Oh, Arcie goes for the Rock M9. Neither of them hit their strats. So that should be Autumn Woodlands to Shane. Arcie hits his Rock M9 on the second try. Honestly, I think that is kind of ideal for Shane to start out with a pretty big win. We are now on map 2, Reflection. Another movement map here. There is actually a bet to see if they will draw on Reflection, presumably with a 31.600 average. So the race here is really about if either one can score a 31.5. Arcie is the EGT world record holder with a 31.517. Shane is the IGT world record holder with a 31.5. So both these are very experienced at Reflection. Oh! Where mistake from Arcie. I don't want to overanalyze practice because I know, stuff like that can honestly just be intentional sometimes if you just want to practice the rest of the map. I know some people just don't try their hardest in practice, which understandable. Arcie did mention before the match that he was struggling with reflection a little bit consistency-wise, which is a little worrying. A moving map like reflection, you need to get average. You need to get an average. If you're unable to finish a solid average, that's not a good sign for the rest of the match. Not a good sign mentally. Oh, Arcie is going sideways into the end zone. Really, really looking for that 0.5 touch. I don't really... Oh my gosh, Shane. I don't know if that was, just for a little bit of fun, or if that's out of pure nerves. That is definitely something. Because that definitely should not be happening. Practice 2 here. I want to see one of them finish out just a run, so I know what kind of times we're going to be looking for, IGT-wise, especially from Shane. I mean, maybe like 31.8, 31.7 for Shane. Just because of the ping disadvantage. Oh. I mean, yeah, you can see in practice that Arcie isn't looking the most consistent at all. I know Arcie does get pretty nervous under tournament pressure. But, I mean, he was even quoting this in practice, so it's probably a mix of tournament pressure and just overall inconsistency on the map. If he can isolate this map and not let it affect him mentally, I mean, that should be okay. Oh. But if you do mess up on reflection, I mean, considering the loss on Autumn Woodlands, you cannot let it affect you mentally. You have to compartmentalize it. A little bit of advanced terminology for you. We got a funny general today. Arcie's taking... Both these guys are taking a lot of practice on all these maps so far. Arcie with the signature sword. Shane with the signature shadow head. Alright. I mean, good luck to both these guys. Just looking at the runs, it's pretty easy to say. I think Arcie is faster, but Shane is definitely more consistent on reflection. If Arcie can get his consistency under control in rounds, he's definitely more likely to get a 0.5, I think. Round 1. Hope to not see any mistakes, though, from either of them. I mean, just weird lines kind of already from Shane. I mean, it doesn't seem to be too crucial, but I mean, you want to start going for 31.5 as soon as possible. And these lines don't seem very 31.5-esque. Yeah, Arcie with definitely the better run here, but only slightly. 31.7 for Arcie. 31.9 from Shane is not a good sign at all. I was definitely expecting at least a 0.8 IGT from Shane, so. Round 2. Hopefully he can pick up the pace a little bit, fix the start lines, make them more similar to Arcie, who definitely has experience line-wise. I would trust Arcie's lines much more than Shane's. Yeah, again, it's just hard to tell how much Arcie's gaining because he starts out so much further ahead than Shane. But, I mean, Arcie has fixed a little bit of his consistency issues. Oh, a 31.6 IGT from Arcie. That is exactly what he wants to see. A 31.8 from Shane also picks up the pace, but Arcie's looking solid right now. 31.6 IGT is literally the best we're going to be seeing here for sure. Round 3. I am considering paying. I know that. But I'm not just going to repeat. Well, we don't know until we check touches. But I mean, 31.8 from Shane. Definitely a 31.6 touch if I had to guess. But Arcie, a 31.6 IGT could even spell a 0.5 touch. So Arcie definitely with the advantage there. Yeah, I mean, Arcie takes that turn off that big slope just a lot better. He gains a lot of time there. And Arcie's going to be, you know, maybe another 31.6. Another 31.6 from Arcie. Shane, 31.9. It's important to note that nobody has ever scored a 31.5 in tournaments. So Arcie could make history here if he stays consistent. And he's clearly getting solid runs, not safetying too hard. So, yeah, I think he's in a pretty good situation. Round 4. Shane, I don't know why Shane could just go so far right at the start. I don't know where that even comes from. Because on a literal straight line at the start, we shouldn't be seeing a huge difference in lines. Arcie's again looking super solid. Needed to stay solid after the loss on Autumn Woodlands. And another 31.6 from him. Shane at 31.8 improves his IGT average. Arcie is just looking wonderful on this map. And I know he, in the past, has kind of underperformed in tournament. And against Veg, he didn't have the performance he wanted to, so I'm sure he's happier now just seeing how he's performing on reflection. You know, basically perfectly so far. Round 5. Both of them need to go all out. Try to get 31.5 touch. Shane. That across all 5 runs, never fix the start line. We'll just lose a couple frames off the start, which might already put 31.5 out of contention. You know, 31.5, underrated record. You need a nearly perfect record. Sorry, I misspoke seeing Arcie fall there. Arcie is not going to get another chance to get a 31.5 touch. He's going to hope that one of his 31.6 IGTs ended up touching. Shane, 31.9. But as I was saying, 31.5 is a really optimized record, and you really cannot have any mistake and get a 31.5. Which does reflect, you know, in the EGT record just being a 0.517, fifth frame 0.5. Alright, practice 1 on map 3, Skyscrapers. Technically a skip map, but for our purposes, a movement map. Shane just recently tied the EGT world record with a 22.000. I do believe Arcie actually has that as well, hoarded. You know, Arcie has hit a couple PBs leading up to this tournament match. He doesn't want Shane to get any advantage of how well he's playing. But I think Arcie hinted at having a PB faster than 22.017, sorry, which would indicate world record time. A huge part of this map is the end zone. I mean, you want to jump onto this end zone as early as possible, and that is tricky timing, especially in tournament. It's really easy to jump just too late, which isn't too detrimental, but similar to Reflection, I think the match is going to come down to maybe one of them can touch a 22-0. If not, a 22-100 tie seems very likely. Arcie still adopting his sideways technique on skyscrapers. Shane, despite just getting, you know, a 22.000 in practice EGT world record, I have heard from another anonymous user that Shane didn't look the best in practice. I mean, you never know, maybe he just wasn't super locked in, but I wouldn't bet on Shane getting a 0.0 touch. And obviously Arcie is intentionally kind of leaving his times in mystery. We don't know what he'll be getting, but I mean, they look solid. Both of them look solid here. Arcie. Oh, Arcie was in a ragdoll there. I think that might have been unintentional, which is a little bit worrying. But luckily, the end zone, if you really need to, you can safety. It's not like it's only, you know, a dangerous spot if you're trying to go for like 22 O's. Oh my gosh. Weird mistakes from Arcie. Oh my, wow. Both of them making mistakes at the same part. I just think in tournament, especially skyscrapers, it's a little bit more consistent than you think it would be. There's just a couple parts that under pressure kind of fall apart. Your lines are never perfect. So you need to focus on just getting your seams done rather than taking them perfectly. So bad end jump there for Shane. That is kind of the end jump that you don't want. That's what you're avoiding when you jump early into the end zone. You want your leg to extend. That was a decent end jump from Arcie. Is what both of them are going to be looking for here in round one. Likely, if I had to guess, a 1-1 match. Maybe 1.5.5. But round one. Good luck to both. If I had to predict, I might take Arcie by like 0.033 average. But I would assume they tie. Round one. Both of them just want to get a run in without mistakes. Ooh, Shane. Not perfect, but we'll get the job done. Solid runs from both. Weird end line from Shane gives him a 22.3. Arcie 22.2 is not ideal. It will work, but I think Shane actually took a little bit of advantage there in that round. I don't expect to see a 22.2 IGT from Shane, but I do kind of expect to see a 22.1 IGT from Arcie. So, again, Shane making up a little bit of ground there, but or not making up, taking a little bit of ground. Arcie has plenty of chances to make that up, though. Ooh, Shane, a steam sink. Slope sink, sorry. And just a weird attempt from Shane here. Oh, and a fall. Ooh, and Arcie just barely misses the end zone. Maybe losing out on a little bit of speed due to trying to be cool, trying to take that sideways. DNF for both of them. Arcie, like, maybe calling for a redo. I mean, not explicitly requesting one. Shane is not moving. Okay, Arcie round 3 here. 22.2 from him. Okay. So here's what I'll do. Okay, so this is going to be round 3 for Shane and a provisional redo for Arcie. So we'll have to review after to see if that lag. We might give him redo. I don't want to hop back on just for one round on Sky. Ooh, Shane, not the best run here. Yeah. Had to wiggle a little bit for that line. 22-2 from Arcie and 22-5 from Shane. So that's boom. I'll just put like there. I mean, that works. All right, round 4. Shane needs to get some solid runs in. The 22-3 that he got on round 1 is now counting. Which, you know, accounting for ping is not the worst. Actually, probably a good situation to be in terms of time, but, I mean, he needs to replicate that twice in a row now. Oh, Arcie, a fall. 22-3 from Shane. All right, round 5. Shane needs to perform here. Arcie's just going to look for like a 22-0 caliber run. Ooh, and... Oh, Shane! Falls. Will likely give the map up to Arcie. A 22-1 IGT from him. Yeah, Arcie definitely taking skyscrapers. Well, I would definitely guess that that map went to Arcie, and maybe assuming reflection to tie, we're looking at a 1.5 to 1.5, but I mean, reflection might end up just going Arcie's way. So either 2-1 Arcie or 1.5 1.5. Arcie saying he is having internet issues, which heading on to Western Bluffs is definitely not the map you want to start having internet issues on. No. All right. Okay. Okay, we're just not gonna really count that chain thing as anything. We're gonna start practice 1 here. I know Arcie didn't get a ton of Western practice in. I mean, he seems solid at Western. I don't know what to expect from Shane. I think Shane has... I don't know if he has EGT, but he definitely has an 18-1 IGT. If he doesn't have 18-100 EGT world record, he definitely is a frame off. It's important to note that there is a skip on this map, but I think these two might have agreed on skipless. I'm gonna ask. I would like to see a skip element, but these two... Arcie saying that no skipless agreement was made, so we could be seeing a skip if one of them comes to desperation. And this skip is surprisingly doable. I mean, it's been hit a couple times in tournament. But Arcie says he had not practiced skip at all. So, doubt we see that from him. Shane, I don't think he's practiced skip either. Just judging that he's a minute 30 into skipless practice. Arcie could maybe be throwing us off, though. I mean, you never know. But if we want to talk about, you know, staying secretive, Shane is the one that has done that, so not Arcie. I'm really unsure. We'll just have to have the rounds play out, but we still have practice 2 to go. Maybe we could see one of them practice skip. Maybe. I doubt it, though. Especially if you want to keep, you know, skip secret. If you're confident in your skip ability, I mean, you may as well just not even try it in practice rounds. Completely blindside your opponent. Kind of different spinner strats. Arcie takes it a little less safe than Shane. Shane's finishing these runs out for some reason. 18-7. 18-7 is definitely not a time we expect from, you know, players of this caliber. Obviously, there's ping in there, but... Ooh. Hello? Hello, M9 Arcie. I don't know, man. I don't know if we're going to be seeing this. Uh-oh. Well, at least he's practicing it a little bit. I don't know why he's not going on these boxes. Oh? Oh? I mean, he's making progress here in practice, too. Alright. Well, we're not going to be in round 1 here. Arcie is back in Skipple's avatar. Definitely won't be utilizing that skip until, like, round 4 or 5. If he needs to, honestly. But it could be possible that they both, on rounds 4 and 5, just go for Skipples, try to get, like, 18-3, 18-2 touches. Round 1. Arcie with a better start. Doesn't seem too big of a difference. Oh, a weird bonk from Shane. Sends him off course. Shane's stopping. Not what you want to see. You don't want to see a player stop. And an 18-4 from Arcie. Shane's typing. Don't want to give... Oh, okay. He's just going to do enough. Shane might be maybe trying to pull a little redo. I don't know. You know, we don't like to give redos. His mouse disconnected? I mean, okay. I guess. I'll give the redo, but definitely we'll have to vid proof that because I want to make sure, bro. Especially when it gets late in this tournament. I mean, losers round 3, loser goes home, and it's a tight match, 2-1 maybe. You know, we gotta question the validity of these claims. Nothing personal, not trying to like doubt him. Just we do have to question every redo. Alright, Shane's back. Not an ideal start, but it should be okay. He's just looking for like 18-3 here. As I was saying in the Gavin versus Noah match, Western is always a little bit slower than you expect, but he does get an 18-5, which is a good sign compared to Arcie's 18-4 IGT. They should be at worst tied, maybe Shane a 0.1 advantage. from Shane's perspective. Round 2 for both. Hopefully no more redo issues. Ooh, a little bit of a bonk at the start from Shane. Definitely prefer Arcie start, but... Ooh, Arcie and a death. 18-6 from Shane is just not the best, but I mean, considering we saw 18-7 from him in practice, I mean, 18-6 isn't the worst. Not the end of the world. Yeah. I mean, it does take a little bit of an advantage over Arcie. As I said, Arcie should have taken a little bit to practice this map. I was suggesting that he practice Western, but he decided not to. And this is what happens. I mean, you have an opponent getting all right times that you definitely can match. You have the skill to match, but you're just not ready for it. But he does have more chances. Definitely not over. And I think he might go for skip, which might just end up, you know, kind of nullifying everything I said. Well, okay. He really does not want this DNF. Maybe just utilizing this as a little bit of practice. And a 93-9. Round 3 here. Shane looking a little bit better, but definitely not good enough to where, you know, he can ease off. Arcie definitely has a good chance here if he gets an 18-4 IGT, which he is definitely capable of. Ooh, Shane with a better start this time. Shane needs to capitalize on this, though. Spinner is always a little weird. Ooh, 18-4, 18-5. Same times as round 1. Shane definitely safeties the spinner a lot more than Arcie does. And coming into round 4 here, he might want to start taking a little bit more risky. He already locked in an 18-5, 6-7 average, or 5-3-3 average. So he'll want to go a little bit more all out. Oh, but he keeps jumping too early for that and climbing a little bit. Arcie, big mistake. Big mistakes here from Arcie. I mean, maybe he goes for skip on 5. I think Shane at 18-6. I was expecting 18-6 to be a little bit faster. But 18-7 from Arcie is not ideal. He still needs to finish another run. Shane is right there in terms of IGT. Round 5. Either of them go for skip. Shane climbs again. He's going to hope that Arcie makes a mistake. Oh, Arcie falls! Arcie counts in 18-7 and gives the map to Shane. Yeah, Shane definitely taking Western bluffs. This match might come down to map 5. Northern Cliffs. You all know it. You all love it. The skip map. I mean, we did see last match came down to Northern Cliffs. 2-2 going into Northern Cliffs, and it was decided by just a couple of frames on Northern. So Northern is the perfect map to end off this match, and I think these two should be pretty equally matched on Northern, as they're both, you know, skipless heavy players that have some merit in skip. They're solid, but they're not, you know, they're not notable for skip. Shane recently published a 6.4 PB with a 6.3 touch. Arcie definitely has a hidden PB, so we don't really know what to expect from him. If I had to guess, it'd be around there, 6.4, 6.3. Do I sound like a chipmunk? Okay. If I do start sounding like a chipmunk, let me know. A big thing in this Northern Cliffs will be just consistency, sorry. Unlike Gavin and Noel Tenzu, where I expect them to hit it nearly perfectly every time, these two, I expect a couple of mistakes, and we're seeing that in practice one here. Ooh. Both of them are just going for double low. If you're confused at that chipmunk reference, my setup kind of glitched a little bit, and in the meantime, the commentary, I literally sounded like chipmunk, and that same glitch happened, so I was just making sure. Practice 2. I'm very unsure what to expect from Arcie. Shane, maybe like a finish run. He's kind of taking his M9 a little differently. He's like going wide for it, which allows him to carry speed throughout, but it's not optimal world record wise. So two kind of different strategies for M9 here. I think if Arcie hits it perfectly, his will be faster, but Shane might be faster on average. So it probably will come down to consistency. And by the way, if you are confused, I'm not going to be calling stuff like that flicks from Shane, as that is just slope tech. I don't really know what to call it. It's just a little bit of slope. Slopes are just weird in speeders, and you can tell that that's just coming from slope jump rather than tilt. He's not gaining speed or really even height directly from the tilt. So that should be good, but obviously we'll have to monitor. Make sure nothing flicky happens, which, considering Shane's strat, if he's getting that kind of slope tilt every run, I mean, that's kind of asking for flick to happen, which I will have to DQ. But he's not going to practice a different strategy. He's just going to go in round 1. Good luck to both. A lot on the line here. Remember, elimination for the loser. And after this, only 4 will remain. So, yeah, good luck to both. Round 1. Should be good from Shane. He's going to finish a 7.0. 7.8 from Arcie is not too far behind. Both of them starting out solid. .8 from Arcie is a little slower than Shane, but again, as I think consistency is a big metric in this match, I don't think it's a big issue, but he'll want to pick it up a little bit. Round 2. Oh, Shane misses. Arcie, I think, had to take 2 attempts for that. Will get a 7.5. Shane will still be around skipless. 12.6. Arcie is looking pretty consistent, but he is missing the second M9 quite a bit. But I think that shows a little bit of potential from Arcie, that he can get like an easy 6 if he just gets a solid run here, which might put it away if Shane can't get a good run here. Ooh. Ooh, Shane misses quite a bit. Shane's all the way back, but he gets up there faster than Arcie for a sub 10. 9.6. Arcie 11 flat. Ah, this is really, really tense. I think Arcie has a little bit of advantage. Oh, quite a bit of advantage. Round 4. Nothing is decided yet, but round 4 is kind of crucial. Shane needs a good run here, or he'll be counting a 9.0. Arcie with 2 solid runs is looking a little better. Shane is looking really fast! A 6.6 from Shane, but Arcie another 6. 6.9. Okay. Round 5. Shane still needs to improve his average. Arcie has 3 solid runs, but Shane only has 2. Round 5. However, Arcie would still like to get, a sub 7 here. He misses the first! He needs to go! Oh! Oh, it barely improves his average. 8.2, 9.3 from Shane. It will slightly improve his average. This is a 0.233 difference. So this will come down to touches, but that might be Northern Cliffs to Arcie. Shane missing the first M9 was kind of a slow recovery, but it might just barely be enough. We'll have to check touches. I will get back to you. Thank you all so much for watching. I had a lot of fun commentating this match. I hope you had just as much fun watching.